there guys, time on reaction. This is My Little Midi Grimdark reading called What Have You Done? It is 11 minutes and 54 seconds long. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but to find out what is going to happen, we need to watch the video by watching the video. In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, hello. Spell presents. Hooves are running.
Rainbow Dash ran up the ramparts of the crystal walls of the Castle of Friendship.
Friendship? What a joke. If I find her in there, I'm gonna wring her stupid neck. After what she did to
What?
Pinkie Pie, Applejack,
Rainbow is out of character there already.
Rainbow thought as she maneuvered effortlessly around the magical mines that were now set in place. Seeing the balcony doors open,
What's with the sound effects? It sounds creepy already.
Through the stained glass window instead. They were probably booby-trapped anyways. As she felt her hooves start to shatter the brilliant work of art,
what's that moving?
Unseen force grabbed her from behind and flung her in a wide
Am I hallucinating now?
Against the adjacent wall before throwing her against the balcony floor. Rainbow felt the wind drive out of her body as she was then dragged through the open doors into the semi-darkness inside.
You've been held prisoner, Rainbow Dash.
To land in her own crystalline throne at the map table.
I was wondering when you'd come.
Twilight's soft voice sounded distorted, as if she was one of the many Twilights who had all spoken at the same time. Rainbow Dash, still catching her breath, scanned the room, shifting painfully into a sitting position so she could pounce in any direction if needed. It took her eyes a moment.
I don't know what's in the background, but I fucking hate it.
If the sky outside was clear, she'd have no problem finding Twilight in the room. After all, it was wide open. But the storm that was brewing outside was one she had never seen before. Its dark purple and blue clouds, casting a twilight state outside, and thus a near dark inside the castle.
That is an interesting effect, actually.
For a long moment, Rainbow just sat in silence, trying to detect her once friend by sound, but nothing moved. The mute room seemed to thrum upon her ears, making her long for something to shout.
Are you sure this is the Castle of Friendship?
Each second felt like an hour, and each minute felt like an eternity.
It's a trap.
For a brief, horrifying moment, Rainbow thought that time had stopped and the world had ended. If Twilight succeeded in her efforts, the world went as well, and now
it's coming into focus a bit.
Again. It was after 10 minutes of this unbearable hush that it was broken by a soft
You seem to have much to say, Dash. Why don't you just tell me? After all, a true friend can speak her mind.
Twilight's multi
I love you.
Whispered, not much closer than Rainbow.
I like to ship you. I like to have sex with you. I don't know.
True friend?
Rainbow felt
a true friend wants to kill you in the back.
To pinpoint the location of the alicorn, so she could use her hooves to do the talking.
I have nothing to say to you.
Don't be like that, Dashy.
Twilight murmured. Rainbow stood where she sat.
I saw what clues. What is happening?
As she scanned the gloomy room once again.
Only my friends call me Dashy, and you're not a friend.
She saw a shadow.
What is up with Twilight?
Across the table, snapping her wings open, she growled, launching herself forward. Rainbow Dash flapped her powerful wings once more, bracing herself for impact.
It sounds like
it wasn't until she counted to 3 that
Twilight,
there was nothing there.
Or Rainbow Dash has been drugged with something.
Into the wall of the room.
Look like a red pill, green pill.
Turning about, she felt
pussy juice. I don't know.
Knowing that she was
I don't know where that came from.
Yet she lowered herself.
You can actually get a drink and it's called pussy. Yeah.
Very well, Rainbow. But I need you to know my side of things first. Doesn't our past friendship grant me that?
Twilight's voice held no emotion.
I don't know.
There were flecks of hurt in the echoing.
I need her to talk more. The longer she talks, the better chance I have of finding her.
Rainbow thought, as her ears swiveled to find the origin of the voice.
Fine, but that's as far as our past goes between us. You have a lot of answer for Twilight Sparkle, and I intend to make sure you do.
Rainbow
I
snapped.
think the sound is
The
all
room seemed to
around
breathe
you.
As Rainbow finished her threatening, it almost seemed like the gloom lifted a shade, and a sense of relief could be felt.
That's all I asked. You remember how all this began, right?
Twilight's many voices seemed to be happy about something.
How did it
Rainbow
begin?
subconsciously nodded.
You found the hidden history of Alicorns and Draconequus.
Twilight's voices seemed to bubble like a merry brook.
Okay.
Yes. You had no idea how shocked I was that Celestia Luna had hid it for all those years. And hid it from me.
Fuck
no
me, that's
less.
creepy.
Rainbow pivoted her ears to the right. It seemed like Twilight's voice was coming from that direction.
I can't tell you how sad it made me when I found their races had ended with an all-out war between each other. In fact, if it weren't for Celestia taking her sister and running, then the Alicorn race would be completely extinct. It's truly sad.
Even though she was talking about the end of one of the greatest races of the world, Twilight sounded like she had been
Oh my
given a book
gosh.
on her birthday.
It's making me
When Twilight
sweat.
did not continue, Rainbow continued the story, hoping to keep Twilight talking just a little more.
I remember that you went out and found one of their ruins. You weren't the same when you came back.
I figured out how to bring them back. while
You
I was
found a
there.
demon?
I found the answer. I can bring them all back.
Twilight's voices stated to swell, as if the idea was enough to be joyfully over.
This reminds me of another story, actually.
And what? Let them fight again?
Gone
They're
into
ruining
ruins?
The world like before?
Some
There's a
CMC?
reason why they're forgotten, Twilight. I thought you'd be
You sure
smarter
this is
than
not
that.
Annie?
Rainbow snapped, letting her own anger cloud her judgment. There was a pregnant pause, as the alicorn in the room seemed to chew the Pegasus's words for a moment.
Okay.
You really think I'm stupid?
Funny, she almost sounds like her feelings are actually hurt.
Rainbow bit back a snort.
Oh,
You think I didn't make a plan for that? I put up barriers for that.
Twilight demanded, her many
They're
voices
both out to
bristling with
both
an angry
out
mob of Twilights.
of character,
Is
yeah.
that why? Is that why you tried killing us?
No, 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 no! Not kill you! I mean, it's complicated. I wouldn't kill you. Well, not exactly kill you, but trust me, it was important. For a good reason.
Twilight's
Gloom
been
seemed to rise
possessed.
more for some reason.
That's
Rainbow
not
started looking
Twilight.
about, seeing
I
the
think that's a
crystalline
that's a
wall
fucking
behind
demon
her.
inside her.
In front of her, she could see shadows of the cutie map and the chairs surrounding it.
It's called murder, Twilight. That's when one pony kills another regardless of reason.
Rainbow stated flatly, a plan formulating in her
Twilight's
mind.
dead.
I didn't murder them! They had a purpose. I needed their elements. It's not my
You
fault
murdered
the
them.
elements of harmony reside in the soul of a pony.
Twilight snapped suddenly. Rainbow blinked.
Rainbow,
Soul of a
you're in danger.
pony? Celestia, what did you do, Twilight?
Feeling the blood run from her face, she stood up with her aggressive
I like how the
stance,
map is a
suddenly
certain
feeling like
area is all
flying as
bright,
far away
and
as
all the
fast
rest
as
is
she
all dark.
could.
And what is that dark
The soul
spot
of a pony can only
on
be
the map?
accessed once a pony has expired. The elements of harmony are bound to the soul of a pony, which is why only that pony can use them in the first place.
Twilight explained, though the sound of clopping hooves told Rainbow she was pacing. Something she usually did when she was unsure about something she was talking
Don't make a hole in the ground though.
Rainbow swallowed hard.
So you killed them and ate their soul?
Ugh!
Stopped.
You at
Silly Dashi, I didn't eat them.
you are the Dementor.
I simply ripped the element of harmony they held and bound them to my soul.
Rainbow sat down hard.
Wait. Rip them?
Twilight must have noticed that there was something.
It was a whole
about her
crux.
statement, because there was a long, heavy pause before she responded.
That's what I said.
Twilight, don't you see what you're doing?
Rainbow felt panic rise up in her, but
No.
even more she felt the
No,
sudden horror of what was really happening crashing down on
She's a
her.
psycho now.
But the elements can help me bring back 2 dead races in a way where they'll be peaceful. Is that not good?
No.
The gloom seemed to dissolve, and Rainbow found she was sitting with Twilight.
What
almost in
the
front of her.
Oh, come on!
Twilight's eyes were a swirling mix of
Fuck.
pink, yellow, orange, and purple.
That is fucking
Her mane
spooky.
was
You can see
floating
the
as
elements
if
of
stuck in
harmony
charge,
in the
and
eyes.
her
What's
body
you know?
seemed gaunt,
What the
like
what?
she had not eaten in weeks. Upon her neck was a black spider brooch. that seemed to be glowing a faint purple. Rainbow fell back and scooted away from Twilight until she was pressed up
That
against
is
the
a
rough
scary
crystal wall, trying
Twilight.
to put as much distance as she could between herself and the thing before her.
Rainbow? Is something wrong?
The spider at her neck seemed to twitch its
Yes,
legs,
you're gone psycho.
reverberating Twilight's voice. The gaunt pony put a hoof out to touch her friend, to tell her that it was all okay.
Don't touch me!
Dash shrieked, pulling away from the hoof
You're a
as
murderer.
fast as she could. Twilight froze, her face crumbling into sadness.
Dashy, please. Don't be like that.
She tried to reach out again, but Rainbow flailed, kicking out with her hind hooves while twisting to find another way out. One of her hooves collided with the spider brooch on Twilight's chest.
What the fuck is that? It's that Alicorn amulet, isn't it? Oh, it's something amulet.
Rainbow Dash was halfway across the room, ready to leap off the table to soar through the high window, when she heard a heavy thud from where Twilight was. Trying to stop mid-jump caused her to crash to the floor, where her vision went fuzzy for a few moments. But when it cleared, she heard crying. Anguished sobs rang off
Rainbow
the walls
Dash
of the
murdered
crystal room.
Twilight?
Rainbow struggled painfully to her hooves and saw Twilight. Her wings wrapped around herself where she lay on the ground. Powerful sobs racked her body as she wept openly, unsure of what had happened. Rainbow saw the spider amulet on the ground, its little legs curled into itself. Confused, she took a step towards Twilight. This sudden change of demeanor making her second
Twilight
guess
was a
herself.
spider, or was she?
After a half hour of indecision, Rainbow closed the gap, touching a hoof to the shoulder of the wailing alicorn. Twilight seemed to notice, because her cries died down enough for her to talk some.
They're gone, aren't they? I really...
Sorry.
Yes.
Celestia, what have I done?
Okay, a bit confused at first. It sounds like Twilight was possessed by a demon. Was it Annie? I don't think it was. It could be. Somehow Rainbow Dash found out about this incident that Twilight did. Twilight is a murderer. Hence, Rainbow Dash becomes a murderer. In a way. But what's the story with the spider? The spider was inside her? I don't know what the spider was.
Come on!
Sorry, sweet, but I'm not sure what the spider is due to the story. I did like the effect when Twilight was in my right ear roll. Or your right, your left, my left. No, your left, my right. It was definitely a creepy sound effect. It should be used more, especially have a full 360 surround sort of feel with headphones on. The only thing is with these sound effects, with this thing, you can only listen with headphones on. It wouldn't necessarily work if you haven't got headphones on. You have to have some phonics. You have to have headphones on so you can get that 3D surround. I've mentioned this before in another reaction, and it makes you feel you're there. Like, just imagine if this was Let You In, for example, and you got whoever's talking to you in the background. I can see you, or something in that on that ilk. In my opinion, the story, I think it is a bit too short. I believe it should have been probably within 15 minutes to 20 minutes, which normally I react to a big story like that. But when it's only 11 minutes long, 11 minutes 54 seconds long, it must be in a short story. Is there a sequel? That's the thing. Is there a sequel? Because it sounds like if this actually happened, Rainbow Dash would be sent to the moon or the sun. What is the punishment for murder? What is the punishment for murder? Is it you're sentenced to death? You'd be sentenced.
Oh, come on!
To Sweetbelle's oh come ons. Okay. Well, scary sound effect. I want more stories like this actually. It makes it interesting. Well, hope you like this reaction or more reactions for videos I do, and I'll see you next time. Oh, yes.